summer been like, just getting to know everybody and kind of meshing as a team?
This summer been very awesome. Honestly, it's been a real privilege. One to be, University of Kentucky, but also playing with a lot of very talented and wholesome human beings that you can find. This team is really special, just by the way that everyone is working and how everyone is pushing each other to do more, whether it's to lift more, whether it's to shoot more, whether it's to be a little more tougher when we practice and work out.
Do you feel like the old guy in the room that can give some wisdom to a lot of these, especially the young guys?
Absolutely. I think one thing that I bring to this team is just experience. Through my experience in college, I've been at every single level. I've been in every single positions that you can experience as a student athlete, from playing the tournament to playing the NIT to not even making both of those teams, and the ups and downs of coaching change and whatnot, and just being around so many different dynamics and teams that I think to this team, I can bring experience, I can bring a little sense of calmness. So, like you said, wisdom.
Zoom talked about how rare it is for like two guys to transfer to a different school together. You all have history as well. Can you talk about your relationship with him?
Me and Zoom are truly like brothers. First of all, we spent 2 years together, but also, I think this transition over to Kentucky was, I would say, pure luck, and also you have to thank the man of ball for sure. I think everything just happened at the right time, at the right moment. It's been a pleasure to have him here. We spend a lot of time, whether it's to reviewing practice films, talk about practice, talk about different things that we need to both bring to his team for us to be able to bring Kentucky to a level that it need to be, and it's a good way for us to keep each other accountable. And Zoom is definitely one of the loudest voice that we have on the team, but also he's a great leader, he's a great player, he's a great playmaker, make play for his teammates. So to just get the chance to see him the way that he's approaching in this transition to this new team is really awesome. But also it kind of makes sure that I also on my P's and Q's and make sure that also that I'm always being at the best level that I can possibly can as a player and as a person.
The other guys have said you're the loud ones of the group. Is that true?
I have to trust my teammates' judgment, obviously, but most of the time I just be myself. I'm just being Frank all the time. Throughout all this experience, in my college experience, I kind of, I know how important it is to bring your best self every single day. Doesn't matter how you feel, doesn't matter what you're going through, but it's important to bring your best self every day just for the dynamic of the team. So that's what I try to do over there.
Zoom brought up that you growl. What's the deal? What's the deal with you growling?
I'm gonna have to ask him about that. I think what you're trying to say is just that during the game, whenever time I get a chance to compete and be out there, I'm just such a competitor that I get lost within the game. And my competitive energy sometimes get a little carried away, and sometimes I may talk to myself, or maybe sometimes I'm just so into the game that that intimidating energy aspect of me comes out, and whatever I gotta do to win the game, whether it's to instill fear in my opponent, I do what I gotta do.
Have you ever got a reaction from an opponent after a growl?
Oh man, I can't remember a time we go out there saying I have to ask Zoom about that, man.
Okay.
But there's a few times where as a competitor, there's that little special moment when you can see the fear that you instill into your opponent. I think those are the moments that I strive to get to, and the moment that I try to play and instill to my opponent or to whoever we're playing against. I think in those moments when you know that you beat your opponent mentally, I think that's when the game becomes even more fun.
Malachi talked about one of the things he's trying to do this summer is get stronger, get tougher, more physical. How can you help him with that?
Malachi is awesome. First of all, this team is all around him, and we're all trying to make sure that we fit his style of playing, that we fit, that we can both, use him to the best ability that we can possibly can. That's number one. Ain't no weight room. As a vet, as someone that's been lifting all my college experience, the little things I can do is to push him a little bit, whether it's to, whether it's pick away and I'm just adding a little 5 pounds onto it, just like, no, this is what we're gonna do, and do it with him. Not just saying, hey, do this, but just do right alongside with him and doing the same time with him to show him that we in this together. This league is tough, and this league require toughness. And also, as he continued to make stride into his basketball journey and continue to be great at what he does, and just something that I can just bring this experience that I have over the years, man, and just let him know, just let him know what it takes. Not just let him know, but just showing him also what it takes, and to do that with a lot of care and a lot of love, and the discipline of what it takes. Show by example, but also leading by also my voice.
I know you had a previous relationship with Zoom playing at Washington. How has it been living in the lodge with your new teammates and getting to know them?
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, we roommate. So little things as me just opening his door, knocking his door, and just messing around with him. Like I said earlier, what is something that we see during practice or a film, I can just walk over and see right into his room and we're just talking about it. Yeah, whether I have issues or I'm dealing with something, I think it's a great way to just be together and have that easy access, and there's somebody that you can talk to. I think it's very grounding, and it's also, you make this transition a lot smoother for sure.
What has been your favorite moment at Kentucky so far?
There's so many. First of all, BBN Nation, I think this is by far the best friend in the nation. I mean, you can see the love. I mean, but a week ago, going to Vegas, and at every stop, whether it's at the airport, whether it's Atlanta, Vegas, I mean, you can feel that love over there. I mean, people really love the sport, and you can tell that basketball means a lot for for BBN Nation. So just by that and feeling the love and feeling the tradition and this energy that's in here, I think as an athlete, man, this is the best place you want to be. Possibly playing in front of this incredible fan, but also win in front of those incredible fans.
How did you get connected with Kentucky in the first place?
Funny story. When I was in high school, I actually got recruited by Kentucky for a while. So for me, when now many years down the road, now that I got the opportunity, I have great mentors, and when I received, because it was one random morning, I received a call and it just said, hey, Kentucky on the phone, they would love to set up a Zoom with you. I think it almost felt like a full circle life moment, because I had an opportunity once, that didn't happen, but ultimately a couple of years down the road, now I'm here at this place where I always dreamed I wanted to be. So when it happened, it was the best of my life, honestly.
So why did you dream so much that you wanted to be here so much those years ago?
When you play this sport, me coming from Cameroon, there's not much basketball life, right? So when I made my transition to the U.S. and start making my basketball journey here to the U.S., you start to understand what teams are good, what teams are not good, or what are the teams that you really want to. So as I start playing and start learning a little more better about just the American culture, the basketball, what basketball means, you see Big Blue Nation, the Blue Bloods, you have those schools out there, and as you're doing the air, you as a player, as a young player, when you see Kentucky on the sidelines, it means a little bit more. During that game, you want to play a little harder because you want that Kentucky offer. You want to play for Kentucky, just so to experience the history of all the great players that have been through this program, because ultimately the goal is to reach the pinnacle of basketball, is to be in the NBA and play for many years. So when you enter the program like Kentucky, where all the resources are there for you in order to achieve and be the best person you can be, it's no brainer that you want to be at Kentucky. It's no brainer that you want to be out here and live your dream, where it's to wake up every single day, just work your ass off to be the best person you can be, but also be the best one you can be off the floor, because they have all the resources that you can possibly dream of for you to be able to complete picture of who you are as an athlete, as a person, as a scholar, and even life after when sport is over.
How difficult have the last 6 years been for you, just injury-wise, and having to overcome, which, it feels like, you right when you get healthy, it's another thing, and just kind of overcoming all of that?
I would say it's a journey. One thing I learned that, life, adversity always gonna come. And what matters the most is how you handle those adversity. Throughout these years, yes, I have a lot, but I also had a lot of good moments. I met a lot of incredible people throughout my journey. Also, I became the person who I became. I'm really proud of the person I became. There's resilience, the competitive aspect. You really get to find out if you really care about something when adversity hit. And I think that the past 6 years, I got adversity every single year. Just to show me that I really love the sport of basketball. I really love the door that it opened for me, but also the door that it allowed me to do for others. Like little things like my foundation that I have. I wouldn't be able to have that foundation and have those kids if it wasn't for the sport, if it wasn't for the years that I spent on the sport and just being here and be able to think about other things just than myself and the ball. Also, I have incredible degrees now, so it's like, but when when basketball is over, I get to choose what I want to do, which is a privilege that I don't think a lot of people have. And so throughout these years, yes, I have a lot of adversity, but also there's a lot of credible moments that I also experienced that ultimately it made it happen. I became here at Kentucky under Mark Pope, which also came from Washington. And so I think there's so many things in this process, in my journey, that come around all together that you can't explain, you can't predict, or you can't even imagine that will happen, but ultimately I'm here.
You're giving such good answers here. I'm really kind of wondering now, are you really that big physical, tough meanie on the court like everybody's saying? Or we've been misled about that? You're just a big happy-go-lucky guy.
Oh man, I mean, when the game comes, an opportunity to get it on that floor, I mean, I will let my game speak for myself. Honestly, I have a lot of games already under my belt that speak for itself, but I'm a competitor at the end of the day. Whether it's practice, whether it's one-on-one, whether it's just my teammate, and we just playing game of ones or game of twos or whatever we do, that competitor aspect come out of me, and that's the time, just like Doom said, I just transform to a whole different persona.
We see a lot of film of you blocking shots. What can you add defensively to this team?
Just protect the paint. I understood that very, very soon in my career that's how I made my name in general in this game, and I take immense pride in protecting the basket. Whenever I'm in the middle of that defense and the basket behind me, for me it's like my house. Nobody's allowed to enter my house unannounced, or I didn't invite. So for me, that basket's on my house, and I protect it like it is. So any shot that come my way, I'm gonna try my best to block it. Make sure to always keep the team in a good spirit, because those are the little things that matter, because when times are not good, those are the things that we are all as a collective come down to, and make sure that we remain that core of brotherhood that we've been creating this summer to kind of get all over the humps. So we're all gonna have bad days, but one thing I think is those bad days doesn't define who you're gonna become the next day, because you can have a bad game this day, and the next game you can be all over sports and all over the nation because you're having an amazing game. So it's just kind of that experience. But he knows. I mean, he wouldn't be in this position for him, but he knows a lot of things he already knows. But it's kind of that sometimes great players need to just be reminded of things they already know, and that's all my job is to do.
You've played against a lot of big, strong players. How would you assess Malachi in terms of his strength compared to people you've gone up against?
I mean, Malachi is as good as any big that I played against. And this summer is even more important because he's taking immense time into getting even stronger. Coming from the year before, he understands the assignment that's at hand. So every day, I mean, we're seeing working. I mean, he's getting in there. He's trying to get used to that physicality even more and more and more. And I think that's what's going to separate him coming to this year.
You talked about ups and downs and bad days. How do you deal with backlash on social media when the fans are becoming more vocal? Is that something that you've had to deal with?
I don't look at it, to be honest. I mean, I understand that everybody's gonna have an opinion, good, bad, doesn't matter. I mean, our job is just to put the ball in the hoop and to win games for this nation, to win this university. So honestly, whatever comments that I get in social media or whatnot, me a person, I don't look at it. The only thing I care is what my teammates' feedback they have for me, what Mark Pope and my coach's amazing staff has for me, and what they need me to do for the next game or next assignment that I have to do.
Is that something that you always did, or did you have to grow into that?
No, I was there. I mean, I grew up with amazing group support. I had great mentors. I had my mother's mother to start the show. I mean, I love her to death. So she always kind of instilled that discipline in me. And along my way, those mentors always taught me the right way to do things, the right way to approach this game, and just also me, just the things that I learned to school and just the media in general. I understand also the effect that it has on your ability on the court, on ability to just be the best self that you can be, like I mentioned earlier, every single day. So for me, I try to block all this noise that do not contribute to winning, to being my best self that I can be to the team every single day.
Frank, I know you've been out of practice this summer. Just what is your health status right now, and you know how are you kind of navigating the load management kind of side of things?
No, I'm not. Man, this staff is one of the best staff in the nation, and I'm super grateful. The amount of eyes that I have on me is none that I ever felt in my life, and the amount of love that I also feel from everybody on the staff is none that I ever felt. I mean, I'm in this building damn near 10 hours a day. Do you want to talk about my health? I'm in here working every single day, working my ass off every day to just to be the best I can be. I've been working. I've been getting my work in. I've been shooting. I've been feeling good, honestly. For me, it's more a matter of just getting those mental reps. You know, just trying to figure out the plays, really making sure I know I'm dialed into the assignment. But I'm down there on the court. I'm getting better, and honestly, I couldn't be more thankful and grateful for all this stuff around me.
Do you feel yourself getting stronger as you go through that work?
Absolutely, absolutely. For me, honestly, I just trust them what they have to tell me to do. I walk into the day, they have a plan already for me, and I just focus on that plan day by day, one at a time, and I try my best not to look too far ahead or too far behind me. I just focus on what I have to do and do exactly as I said.
Is the plan not maybe a total shutdown for the summer, but to do whatever it takes to rest and recover as much as possible to give yourself the best chance at a full season, so you're ready to go when the season starts?
I wouldn't say rest because I'm working. Like I said, I'm here 10 hours a day. So the plan is just really, it's day by day, man. I trust them. I mean, they're the mind scientists. They know what they do. They excel in the field. Whether it's the strength conditioning that is expert on physical rehabilitation, whether it's the trainer that is an expert on, it doesn't matter. All of them are expert. So the plan that I have for me is when I walk into there to say, this is what we're going to do today. I'm just doing that. And I make sure I win that day.
What is Mark Pope like as a coach, and what attracted you to him in the whole transfer portal process?
No, Mark Pope, first thing I noticed, he's a player's coach. He's somebody that, from his character that first of all, he loves his family. And that's something that really is really wholesome. Just to play under somebody like that not only played at Washington and then come to Kentucky and then win national championship and then go over the NBA career, and then when I came on my visit, just the amount of care that he actually showed toward me and the amount of actual little detail that I knew about myself that I wouldn't expect him to know. I think it's something that really attracted me here. He's somebody actually that he want the best for you when it's on the court, when it's off the court. And he's somebody else that respect what you bring to the game. You respect the work that you put in. It's really easy to play for Mark Pope. All you gotta do is play hard, work hard, and just and just respect your teammates, respect the coaches, respect the staff. As long as you do what he says, you're listening to him. He's an amazing teacher. He's really good at explaining concepts. He's really good at explaining what actually he wants you to do. Listening to him is very easy. Taking feedback is really easy. And one thing I like about Coach Pope, on my visit, we play chess, for example, and I remember just sitting at the dinner table and just playing chess with him. I think that's really wholesome, and then to have that competitive, he still had a competitive aspect with him. We'll be shooting during practice, and he will grab and shoot at one of the players, for example. If you want to face something, he will physically be there and help you actually achieve that workout. You spend time with Malachi, guarding him actually, or teaching him to give him just little moves that he have or how you approach the game. I think it's really awesome when you have your head coach that's so dialed into his players, whether it's on the court and off the court.
Who wins the chess games?
We're tied up right now.
Okay.
We're tied up.
Frank, you talked about your degrees. I think it's a first in terms of majors. I don't think I've ever seen that of anybody coming through Kentucky. Where did that passion come from for, kind of your life outside of basketball and your future after basketball?
I would say my mother growing up, she always made sure that school was very important, that she instilled in me the really important of school. And So and I always been pretty like a science math like kind of guy, math type of like those was my courses where I excelled that I like to do. And I wasn't too much into writing and the process and things like that, but it's numbers. I kind of found early on that this was my niche. And then growing up, I remember one time my mom gave me a remote control car, played with it one day, and the next day I completely dismantled it and rewired all the wires, so I go forward on the controller, go backward. I turn left, turn right. So once I kind of figured out to do that at a very young age, didn't look it up. I just say, I'm gonna do this. I think that's kind of started kind of that drive for that kind of techie aspect of things. So when I got to college, my mentors really made sure to tell me, you really have to get back and playing. This is a good opportunity. Not everybody get to say they have a couple degrees in Depth 3, for example. So just kind of taking important of the scholarships, taking advantage of them, taking all the resources that I had, and make sure I get the best degree I possibly can, so that when the ball start bouncing, that I got playing B, C, and doesn't matter what I have to do.
So what is going to be your future? Like what's your future profession?
After ball, become a robotic engineer. That's kind of the end goal. I got my undergrad in geographical data science, and right now I'm finishing my master's in information management and especially cybersecurity and AI. So that's kind of ultimately when the ball starts bouncing, I will be tying all those resources and all the things that I've learned, and ultimately become a robotic engineer. My dream job is to work from home, build stuff in my garage, and just be happy and be with my family.
What does an NIL deal look like for your field? Like, have you used this platform and the resources at Kentucky to be like, hey, I got tech companies that wouldn't ever typically invest in a college basketball player, but I feel like the door should be open for you.
It would be pretty awesome. But as an international student, there's a lot of restriction when it comes to those type of things. So unless it's somebody internationally that's in that field that would love, but obviously, like I said, just the love of being a nation and other words that it has. That's one of also the pivotal point. Also, me coming here, just want to start when the ball start bouncing. I know all those resources are also there, and I'll make sure to rely on those.
Frank, what's your mom's name?
Hortense.
Will you spell that?
Hortense.
What is special about her that you're really grateful she instilled in you?
Just that discipline.
Yeah.
That discipline and just kind of that work mindset. I grew up in a single house playing. My mom was, I would see her in the morning, early morning, 6 a.m. when I eat my breakfast. I'm off to school and I only see her like late at night at 5. When she come back. So just seeing her do that year after year, days after days, she really instilled me that discipline. Also feel to mention, my mom, she was a former athlete herself, black belt karate. So she kind of instilled that grind and mindset kind of in me, to make sure like whatever you want in life, you go get it. I think that's where I get it from.
Did you ever try karate?
I did, but I stopped by yellow belt.
Okay, yeah. That's still,
So she
better
can still
than-
beat you, I guess.
Absolutely. I still try to be on my good side. I still, that's why I don't mess with my mom, man. No, but I love her, man. She's the best.
Zoom was talking about how important the friendship that you guys share is to him. What has it been like to befriend him, and why is it special to continue this next chapter at Kentucky together?
I met Zoom about 2 years ago when he was just a freshman. He's from Tacoma, and I played in Seattle for already 2 years before that. So for me, I was already there. He was kind of, the city dream, Tacoma dream, play for the city, obviously. So, and him being also from Ivory Coast origin, me from Cameroon, so we kind of also have that connection already. So over the last 2 years, we grew such a brother-like, family-like relationship to the point that his dad is like my uncle. His mom is like my auntie, and this is how I talk to them. That's why I just, whenever I'm on the phone with mom, and I just turn the phone like to Zoom, he call my mom, like those things like that, where it's a relationship that's special that you can't really create, you can't really force it. And now it's like a brother-like relationship. I mess with him every single day. If he's not doing his job, I make sure he knows. No, but it's just, and Likewise, if I'm not doing my job, if I'm slacking a little bit, or you make sure to tell me and be loud about it, make sure everybody knows that Frank's not doing his job. So we keep each other on the toe, we keep each other the best version that we can possibly be.
He said he was in your ear a lot, like he'd already committed here, but he was still messing. So how big of an influence was he in you getting here? You feel like?
I mean, he played a part, but he kind of played a part with the back end when I already knew I was coming. And then once I knew when that decision was made for me, it was then at that point where I kind of gave him a phone call and be like, just kind of tease him a little bit, like, hey, I don't know, like just trying to mess with him a little. He's my little brother, but yeah, once he committed to here, I was very happy for him. I was super happy for him. I was on the phone yelling and screaming to him. Yeah, but then after that, he was more so trying to give me that look over the phone that he wanted me to come. He kind of gave me that everyone's then. He call me randomly or send me a little message, but I think this decision was made with family. My mom, me and my mom, my mentors really sat down and made that decision. And then once I knew for sure in my heart I wanted to come here, you were just kind of that cherry on top that Zoom also here. So.
Frank, do you go into this year with a chip on your shoulder to kind of beat the, injury, accusation narratives kind of about you and your entire career? Say like, hey, I'm going to play a full season. Like I want to prove to the college basketball world that I can play a full season.
Chip on my shoulder, yes. When it comes to proving necessarily in the basketball world, a little bit more or less. I think what's important for me this year is more so just proving to myself. Is that once I already know that I'm capable, I know what I bring to this game. I know what I bring to this game is you can't reproduce it, so it's unbeatable. But second, just kind of proving to myself too that I can do it on the full season. I know I'm capable. I felt it. Last season I was 5 games short. Still a little bit mad about that, but it's okay. But I'm right here where I always dreamed to be, So to just be here and just trust the professional and to trust that I'm here for a reason, to trust that the Lord has a path for me and put me here for a reason. After this long years of adversity, it would be only right to kind of end this last college basketball season on a good note.
Frank, you're just a little bit older than some of these guys. How do you stay so relatable to all of them?
Oh man. Just a little, I would say just a little bit.
Yeah, just I'm a little older than you.
They call me grandpa sometimes. Just I think in my heart, I always had a pretty young heart, and I love connecting with those guys. When you seeing those guys working so hard every single day, the smallest thing I can do is just kind of bring a smile to their life a little bit. Whether it's like we miss play video game, we miss a ton. Whether it's connect with him that way, whether it's going out and get some food and finding and having discussion, having talking, learning more about each other and see if we have things in common, little things like that. Well, also important as an older guy in the team, just being myself, like fully being myself, unapologetic myself, and let them know that hey, I'm being myself. It's okay for you all to also be yourself, and we kind of just mesh like that. With this team you don't have to overthink or overdo it. The connection with this team happens so organically that it actually made it easier to connect with others. Plus, we have basketball and we're here for a reason. So I think that's one thing that we can all relate.
What's the funniest age-related joke one of your teammates has had about you?
They call. They keep messing with Zoom, saying I'm his dad.
Yeah, you've seen that photo like from the move-in day. Is it what you thought when you saw that?
I was laughing to be honest.
I was laughing too, so that's good.
I was laughing, so here and then I kind of give him a little, I mess with him a little bit, call him son or whatever. But I call all of them my sons, so I just kind of mess with them sometimes a little bit. But I think, once I kind of own those jokes and kind of take control of the jokes a little bit and, not being afraid to put myself in those of you in those parties, we're all having fun with it.
Sometimes you have to discipline your sons. Can you do that?
That's one thing that I think with my experience and that I can bring to this team is like, it's okay when we all, happy and everything everything, things are rolling, everything is fine. But there's also when we're not meeting the assignment, now we're not meeting what we're supposed to do, whether it's in the weight room, whether it's in the court, that at that point I kind of have that voice and kind of step in and kind of make sure that we all stay at the same standard that we need to.
Frank, just curious, were you able to connect with Oscar Sheboy at all over the last week or so when he was?
No, yeah, I would love to. I saw him, he was at the TBT game,
Yeah.
so, but Oscar is one of the great. You're talking about, I remember the days where I was watching his highlight, watching his game, and him getting 20 plus rebound. Man, I'm losing all. So good to see him is definitely something, a relationship that I want to have.
I got a question, Big Frank.
What's happening, baby?
What do you say as your biggest thing you bring to the game of basketball?
Biggest thing I bring to the game of basketball?
Biggest attribute.
Biggest attribute? I have the ability to change the momentum of a game.
You sure do.
Zoom said that you'll growl occasionally. Is this true? You've been known to growl?
This is the second time. I cannot neither confirm or deny those allegations, Zoom.
Could you growl for us? Maybe we can hear it.
I do not know what he's talking about, but we will see. Maybe one of those games when you're playing one of those teams, with Louisville or Florida, one of those teams, and I get into the game.
Is there a game that you had circled on your calendar since you committed?
Every single one of them. Every single one of them, I think, is an amazing game with amazing scenery. So for me, especially going to that last year, every single one of those games is circle with a point of proof in every one of them.
What's something you've heard Mark Pope say every day?
2 feet, 2 feet, 2 feet, 2 hands. 2 feet, 2 hands. He's very big on 2 feet, 2 hands. Whether it's you have to make a pass with 2 hands and whatever you drive, you start with 2 feet.
How did the idea for your foundation come about, and why was that important to you at this point in your life?
So that is about, my foundation is about 4 years old, and I mean, I was grateful enough to have one parent, at least in my life, my mother, and as the game of basketball blessed me with opportunities and resources, it was only right for me to kind of look at those orphanage needs more of the kids that not lucky and fortunate as me to have at least one and they have none. And most of the time in those orphanage that we try to help is really less, not the most publicized or known. They are the really one that really struggling to have resources. So they kind of find those ones, and one was really finding where actually my grandfather and the whole family heritage actually is from, and kind of going from there and go like, I'm going back to the sword and trying to help really from there. And then the other one from the other part of also of the country. Now it was really important for me to give back. My mom always told me at a very young age, whenever you give back, the importance of giving back. And the Lord bless you, to bless others. And this is kind of why I'm trying to kind of replicate and do that in my life.
I saw your education. You specialize in AI.
Yes.
If I asked ChatGPT to describe this team, what would it say?
ChatGPT team probably will tell you that he has a lot of talent and a lot of attribute. Physical attribute, I think we're excellent in terms of length, and then also in terms of talent, I think we're probably one of the best.
You ever used AI to help with your basketball?
When it comes to analyzing data set, yes. When it comes to whether it's to a player's strength, whether it's to playing ability, I mean, those platforms are really good to just kind of pull data from what everybody's known, whether it's say ESPN or whatnot, and they kind of give you a rough estimate of what is the most likely spot they're going to take a shot, or what is the most likely spot where they're struggling a little bit, and then that way you can include in your scouting report as you go into the game.